CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with my co-hosts, Mike Molyneux and Marv Azan. So, Patriots news this week. Of course, our guy Cam Newton is back in the news, at least for the Patriots. So he goes on this podcast. I'm actually very confused on the optics of that show. Is that a podcast? Is that a YouTube show?
It's both. It's a podcast and a YouTube show.
Okay, so it's called
I Am Athlete.
I Am Athlete. I was calling it The Athletic earlier, and I don't know why. So he's on this show, I Am Athlete, Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Chad Ochocinco, who is trying to get Cam off of this vegan diet, which, I mean, the diet Chad Ochocinco was laying out sounded pretty damn good. I'm all for Pop-Tarts.
Delicious.
All for Pop-Tarts. But guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting close to believing more and more every day that I know who the Patriots quarterback's gonna be in 2021, and I'm not pumped. I'm not thrilled about it. His name is Cam Newton, but realistically, I'm also if you asked me a few weeks ago, I would have thought Jimmy Garoppolo had the biggest chance to be the Patriots quarterback next season. It seems like the 49ers are now sticking with him. I don't know if that's just like a tactic because they don't have another quarterback lined up yet. Maybe like Deshaun Watson, who doesn't seem like he wants to go there either. But the other name who could potentially realistically be the quarterback here next season is Marcus Mariota. And the value there, the trade value there is a 5th-round pick. So, guys, the question is easy. It's right there. It's simple. Who would you rather have as Patriots quarterback in 2021? Marcus Mariota or Cam Newton? Who, again, I'm getting more and more of a feeling that Cam is going to be back here next season. Marv, let's start with you. What do you think?
Oh man, this is a really hard question because I would be a fan of Marcus Mariota coming to the Patriots and being that bridge quarterback that potentially could be a long-term quarterback for the Patriots going further if you draft a quarterback in the first round. But when you ask that question, I automatically start thinking, for the 2021 season, who would be the more successful quarterback? And that answer is Cam Newton. Cam Newton would be the more successful quarterback for the New England Patriots due to the fact that he has another year into the system. He's going to go into the OTAs, have the training camps. He knows the players. He knows Josh McDaniel's system already, who's still in place. I think it's just going to be an easier process for him if the Patriots can get somebody, as they were saying in the I Am Athlete podcast, some dogs, get Cam some dogs there to play with, then, maybe most likely Cam will be a lot more successful than Marcus Mariota would be in his first year here. Cam, there's still a lot of question marks. Yeah, he was able to last the season healthy, but the short passes still were incredibly bad. He was not accurate at all.
Even when they were open.
I mean, the long balls look pretty good from Cam Newton. He made some questionable decisions. The interceptions, like if you were to put a highlight reel of worst interceptions in NFL history, probably 3 of Cam Newton's interceptions this year would be on that highlight reel. They were just bad and questionable. But he came out and he said he did get in his own head. After he came back from COVID, just the playbook was moving on without him, and he was thinking too much and all of these excuses that he had. Going into another year knowing the system, I think Cam will be more successful next year than if you were going to bring in a Marcus Mariota to this team.
But so you said the word excuses there. I found that answer exactly that. Just very, very much an excuse. I don't think. And look, and here's the thing. I think Cam has taken too much heat. I don't think he was good. Marv, like you said, there were some bad throws. There were wide open guys. The receivers weren't good by any means, but there were wide open guys, and Cam would just throw it at their feet. It happened a bunch throughout the year. But I also think Cam Newton gets a bad rap a little bit in this sense. And I mentioned this on the show, too, on the podcast. He really didn't have anybody to throw to. And I don't care who you put in there. Tom Brady basically had close to that same roster, at least weapon-wise, the year before. And he's the greatest of all time, so he's going to make it look better. But they also sucked. They weren't good. Tom Brady couldn't even make that work. So I don't know how much you could really expect out of Cam. Mike, what do you think? Would you rather have Mariota or would you rather have Cam Newton?
I would rather have whoever can come to New England during training camp in the offseason and win a quarterback battle. I've said this over and over again. I don't
Get
care
off that fence. You give me an answer.
I don't care if it's Cam. I don't care if it's Mariota, Garoppolo. Somebody has to come to this team, get engulfed in the Patriot way and Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels in the offense, and come out of the smoke as the definitive starting quarterback for this team. Now, sure, Mariota, do we believe he's a better quarterback with a better arm than Cam Newton in a sense? Yeah, probably. But as bad as Cam Newton looked last season, the fact still remains he spent pretty much a season in New England. So he has a decent amount of knowledge about this team, the organization, the playbook, the offense. He has the knowledge. Could he have gained more knowledge with more time and whatnot? Absolutely, but that doesn't change the fact that there's still some time there. Mariota, as solid as we may look at him and think he is, he's never played under Bill Belichick. He's never played under Josh McDaniels. He's never played under this offense. It'd be brand new to him. So Cam Newton alone there has that in his corner, that he's already had some time in New England. Also, when you look at Cam, there's one thing about that man is that when he talks and is real passionate about what he's saying, I think he's good at making people believe. Let's all remember when the Patriots first signed him and he dropped hype videos and they forgot about me and they getting the dog and they was dropping all these videos. Patriots fans, we were eating that up. We were like, oh yeah, Cam, he coming with this energy. He's saying this and that and all these videos that he's dropping. Patriots fans, we were eating it up and we just couldn't wait for him to get started. Yeah, the season.
I mean, look. In fairness, there wasn't much else for us to be
excited. Obviously, yeah. There was nothing else to look forward to, but still.
We had life and we were like, yes!
Cam Newton made you really believe like, oh man, he's going to bring something special. I mean, like they talked about in that podcast, it started off pretty nice with the first couple of games of the season, but we saw how the rest of the season went and it got pretty ugly. But then you listen to him in this podcast again with I Am Athlete and talking to Ocho Cinco and Fred Taylor and what's the other, Brandon Marshall, him talking about, the team kept going. I went on the side of the road to the gas station to get some chips.
Dude's so weird.
But he was like, they kept going and I fell off, but I feel like I could be better. I'm not done yet. He was saying all the right things that kind of got you like, oh man, this guy just needs another shot. This guy just needs another chance. And obviously with a full off season and OTAs and training camp, he'd probably be much better. Obviously the team needs to put a better, offense around him, but you just listened to him and felt like if he got another shot, he makes you believe like he'll be able to find success because of how passionate he is and how much he wants to grind to be better than he was before. So, with all of that mixed in together with everything I said, I would take Cam as an option, but I wouldn't just hand him the keys to the ship. He has to prove himself with everything he says and all the hype videos and all the motivational speeches. He has to prove that he can take the keys to the ship and bounce back and be a better quarterback.
I would take Cam back if, and only if, Bill Belichick looks me in the eyes and he says, I'm going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Assuming there's going to be somebody available, I need him to draft a quarterback in the first round. Because at least, and if he's not going to do that, I would rather, I think, take the chance on Mariota just because he's a fifth-round pick. That's it. Fifth-round pick just to test. If he still has something in the tank. I mean, remember, there were flashes of him. There were flashes of him when he was with Tennessee that actually looked pretty good. But the downfall of him that you hear is if he's not playing in the system that's absolutely designed for him, he's not going to work. So the Patriots would really have to tailor the offense, much like they tried to do last year at points, at least, with Cam for Marcus Mariota. But I mean, the thing is with Cam Newton, Mike, you kind of mentioned it. Cam, there's something about him that just gets you jacked up.
Exactly.
Gets you excited. this guy is destined for the media afterwards. Once his playing career is done, this guy is destined for the media. Because after watching that show, at least clips of it, I was like, maybe I want Cam Newton back as a Patriot next year. I don't know. Maybe he comes back as a Patriots, go to the Super Bowl. But and plus, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it also seemed at points like it was an audition tape for him to be the Patriots quarterback.
For sure.
He was saying all the right things. He's a very smart guy. He was saying all the right things. And he was like I said, he was buttering me up, at least as a Patriots fan. And I was like, I don't know. Well, maybe this year didn't really happen. COVID. I just started making excuses. Like COVID, his weapons weren't very good, blah, blah, blah. But who knows? I think I would rather take Mariota, though.
They were asking him some tough questions where, depending on his answer, things could have really left for his chances and reputation to come back to New England, or how people viewed him. But with the tough questions they were throwing his way, he answered them like you said. He's a smart man. He answered them the right way so that he still be kind of looked upon in a great light when it comes to possibly coming back to New England.
And he understands if New England doesn't pick up Cam Newton, things are very slow for him going after that.
Yeah. There's really, who else would do it?
Because at the end of the day, he's still Cam Newton. He still has that stature. Are you going to bring in Cam Newton to be a backup? If your quarterback has one bad week, the Cam Newton noise it's just going to cause too much friction on a football team. So Cam understands that, hey, man, if New England doesn't pick me up, it's going to look real slow for me this upcoming offseason. And I already went to an offseason last year where I had to catch up. I'm not trying to do that again.
So like I said, if you bring Cam Newton back, draft a first-round quarterback. And Marv, I agree with you when you say that, when you bring up the stature, and that's what just triggered this in my mind. Cam Newton might be the best bet for you to get some of these free agent receivers. I mean, who else is going to attract them?
Yeah.
It's Cam Newton. Guys still love Cam Newton. He's a great locker room presence, and I think he could actually attract free agent wide receivers, maybe free agent tight ends. I think he could do it. I think throughout the league, I think there are a lot of people who still believe that Cam can be that guy again. Maybe not 2015 Cam, but he can be a very good quarterback. So we can see how that goes. But, I mean, again, if you take Cam, you got to draft somebody in the first round, and you got to make it a legitimate competition. I would rather have Mariota if you're not going to take a first-round quarterback, because if Mariota does like when he came in that game last year for Derek Carr, he looked damn good.
Yeah, he did.
He looked damn good. But that also could have just been a flash in the pan. We've seen quarterbacks come in and light it up and then suck for the rest of the season. So, again, Cam Newton, you draft a guy in the first round to be the quarterback. If you're going with Marcus Mariota, at least there's he's only going to be 28, I believe, next season. So there's at least chance that he could be the guy if he shows up and pulls a Ryan Tannehill, switches teams, and turns out to be good.